Welcome to Toyin Ibe Toye TV. This is What's on My Mind. Of course, you know what's on my mind is the Africa Cup of Nations 2025. So this is my preview of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. After the World Cup disappointment, of course, our failure to qualify for the 2026 World Cup that will be taking place in the US, Mexico and Canada, Nigerians expectedly are disappointed, and there has not been so much of enthusiasm and hope and excitement about the Africa Cup of Nations. People are not expecting the Eagles to do well, so to say, but the expectations are lowered and the reasons are obvious. But let me warn that with our experience in Nigeria, by the time the Eagles win their first, second, and third game of the AFCON, the excitement will return. So all that the Super Eagles need to do is to focus on their games. This period of low expectation could also be an opportunity for them to win back their fans. Let them just keep going game after game. Again, let me say it, by the time the Eagles win their first 3 games of the AFCON, the excitement will return. Nigerians will begin to follow the competition all over again. The AFCON is also an opportunity for us to rebuild. We are playing under a new captain. We are playing with a lot of new players, and that, I believe, is a step in the right direction. Believe it or not, over 50% of the present squad of the Super Eagles are closing in on 10 years of football for Nigeria. Some of them are closing in on age 30, and ideally, this is the time for us to begin to look at regenerating that squad, freshening that squad up, and bringing in a lot of new players. And of course, we see a lot of new players already in the team. This is the opportunity for us to begin to prepare for the future, begin the process of a comprehensive plan for the 2030 World Cup. So this World AFCON is really crucial, really central in that regard. We have to begin to look into the future and begin, the process of replacing some of the aging players and having our squad strengthened and refreshed all over again. Let me also talk very briefly about the Maduka Okoye situation. People do not seem to understand the peculiar condition around Maduka Okoye. I do not want to blame him. I don't like to blame players. I like to see things from their perspective. Maduka Okoye has just returned from a ban, betting ban, and during the period that he was banned from playing football, his club struggled in the Serie A. They were not winning games. And even now that Maduka Okoye has returned to the club, immediately after the ban ended, he went straight into the first team of Udinese. Their performances have improved a bit. They are now up to the middle of the log, but they are just 4 points away from the danger zone. So they are still not out completely. They are not out of the woods. That's why the position of Udinese is easy to understand. They don't want to lose Maduka Okoye for another month to the AFCON. And that's why I believe they are, instigating and initiating a process that will make him stay back instead of going to the AFCON, where there is no guarantee that he will be Super Eagles #1. For me, clearly, there's no argument about it. The Super Eagles have a #1, and that's Stanley Nwabali. And he has brought stability to the team, and I don't think any coach will change that situation. So if Okoye is to come for the AFCON, he has to be content with being #2, or in case there's a suspension or there's injury, then come in to play. But without any doubt, Nwabali is Nigeria's #1. So that's the situation with Maduka Okoye. I'm not going to say the boy is not patriotic. I'm not going to say the boy doesn't want to play for Nigeria. The boy is also interested, in preserving his place at the club, and of course, factoring in his place at the national team. But whichever way it goes, I can only wish Stanley Nwabali, Amos Amat Obasoge, and Francis Uzo, who is returning to the Super Eagles, the best of luck at the AFCON, that the goalkeeping department will not be our problem during that competition. So there's no perfect list in the world. I think the squad list released by Eric Schell is strong, is good enough. It has an excellent blend of youth and experience. It has some names that are difficult to understand. Yes, but that's the same with every squad list. There's no perfect squad list in the world. There are some names of players who were very good 6-7 years ago. Usman Mohammed, we don't exactly know what he is right now. But if he is anything close to what he was 6-7 years ago, then that will be good for us. But if not, I think we have enough players to fill up in critical areas of our AFCON campaign. So my AFCON preview, to summarize it, is my expectations are lowered. That doesn't mean I don't want to be pleasantly surprised. And then an opportunity for us to rebuild for the future and start to prepare for 2030 from now on. Guess what? From March 2026, qualifiers for the next AFCON will begin, and qualifiers for the World Cup will follow, within a short period. So there's no time to lapse into complacency or be worried about the failure and just sit back and do nothing. The game is progressive. The 2026 World Cup is gone. The AFCON is on. We have to keep moving forward. We have to keep improving our squad. We have to keep praying for luck. And of course, see how far things will go. That's my preview for the 2025 AFCON. Of course, I always will support Nigeria and always pray for the Eagles to soar. So soar, Super Eagles. Let's do it again.